While Payday 3 is struggling to make a comeback, some of the original developers of Payday 1 and 2 are coming together to blow it out of the water. This is Den of Wolves. Den of Wolves is being developed by 10 Chambers. If they sound familiar, you may know them from their first game as a studio, GTFO, an immersive stealth shooter that takes place in a pitch-black facility, riddled with zombie-like monsters you have to tiptoe by to find resources, passwords, and more to uncover the story of the game. While GTFO was an overall success for the small starting company, it received criticism for being too difficult and hardcore. I personally wasn't a fan myself. While the game was very immersive, dealing with hordes of monsters with limited supplies isn't always fun for me. However, 10 Chambers' next game is promising to deliver an experience I've been waiting for since, well, Payday 2. Enter Den of Wolves, a high-style co-op shooter set in a cyberpunk-style future where you complete objectives while fighting off endless waves of security trying to put you down. Recently, there was a pre-alpha test journalists were invited to and played through one of the missions. Reading up on a number of their articles, there's a few things to go over, such as how heists will be handled, paid DLC options, and more. Let's get into it. While there's only 2 minutes of gameplay footage, there are a couple of things I'd like to highlight. From the screenshots being passed around, there are defensive gadgets, such as deployable shields that can be used. And from the gameplay footage, one thing that looks really good is the weapon handling. Excusing the frame stutters from the pre-alpha build, the weapon looks responsive and snappy. For those concerned, the game is being developed in Unity and not Unreal Engine 5. Like any alpha or pre-alpha build, the game isn't in its most stable state. We'll have to see just how much of it is cleaned up by the time the game gets released. Den of Wolves is planning to release in an early access state. I'm not making any excuses for 10 Chambers, but I'm also not expecting it to be polished in an alpha build. I just want to put this up front so you know what to expect when we get to the release date. Let's just hope some of the more glaring performance issues are ironed out by that time. And if you are enjoying this insights into Den of Wolves, give this video a like and consider subscribing to help me out. In these high-style games where one wrong move blows your cover, one of the hardest things to do is coordinate with your team and have everyone be on the same page. With Den of Wolves, there will be a short planning phase where you can choose from a few options to tackle the mission. When one of these options are selected, the game will then guide players with mission markers and other highlights to execute the plan. And just like many other games coming out, there will be a ping system that players can use. From the sounds of this, it is a great way to simplify the game as well as give players ways to tackle these missions in a few different ways. While it can be fun to freestyle a heist, it usually ends up in disaster and chaos. With a system, that should help to streamline the overall gameplay and keep everyone focused on what needs to be done. In the mission that was played during this alpha test, it is split up into 2 missions. The first is a smaller grab-and-go style mission to get gear and supplies for the actual heist. While it should become second nature over time, this section can also be punishing, as every member of the heist has to make it out alive. Any fewer, the mission fails and you're back to the lobby. After your team survives this, you then start the real deal. I can see this being a good warm-up mission, so you can get into the groove of things and complete a quick and easy mission without sabotaging the real mission 15 minutes in. I can also see this setup being a little annoying if you have to do it every single time. It may depend on how engaging this preliminary mission is and just how fast you can complete it. So long as you can speedrun this section and not have to wait for anything, it should end up being more fun than a deterrent to players. In this future, the key to millions of dollars and other valuables is not locked behind a safe, but within the mind of your target, who is locked behind a vault. One of the twists to Den of Wolves is you have to jack into the mind of your target and complete some sort of trippy parkour puzzle to steal their fortune. Each one of these dives into a target's mind is going to be different for each heist. The devs mentioned one of their versions they're working on is a horror-style dive in a Norwegian forest where you're being chased by monsters. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these dives ends up being a reference to GTFO. Only one of your members have to complete the puzzle for it to count. After that, you're thrown right back into the action and have to fight your way out. One of the best news I got from these articles is that there will be other styles of missions to play, such as stealing prototypes, sabotage operations, and assassinations. As far as I can tell, none of these missions were shown or discussed in detail. Either way, it's still great to know this game is expanding on the mission types instead of performing the same style of heist over and over again. Den of Wolves is going to be a premium game. You will have to pay to get in. Just like in Payday 2, you will have to pay for additional DLC missions and cosmetics. 10 Chambers is throwing a small twist to this as well. as only one of your friends will need to have paid for the DLC mission, and they can invite you to play the mission. And if you want to host it yourself, you will need to own the DLC. Just like the Payday games, masks are going to be a big way to express yourself in Den of Wolves. The game will feature microtransactions, but will be labeled as clearly as possible. The developers will not include premium currency with awkward pricing to trick players into buying more because their balance is not at zero. They also ensure there won't be any loot boxes or other methods of gambling for these items. Overall, these developers are doing everything right in that department. They believe so long as they can push out a great product, people are going to buy it and help support the game for the long run. And with the success of a game like Helldivers 2, this feels like the right approach. Not just for being consumer friendly, but also for the success of the game. And that's all we can really hope for. Den of Wolves would really help fit that co-op heist craving I've been having for quite a while now. Thrown into a cyberpunk future, it's even more fitting for my liking. What are your thoughts on Den of Wolves so far? Is there anything you're concerned about that I didn't cover? And does this game sound like something you want to play? Let me know and let's talk about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing to help me out. Until then, I am Mr. Rain, and I'll be gearing up for when we dive in.